Yeah,
So
but indeed, you gave the perfect answer, explanation. You say something like they speak about Islam like nothing else is happening in the world, or I add, like no other religion exists in the world. And the question is why? So if a person has a good heart and asks the question and say, you know what, I want to listen also the other the other voices, because again, as a Muslim, when I listen to news and TV and how the Muslim Islam is, I got scared, and then I realized, hey, wait a second, I'm a Muslim, so I got scared myself. So I get scared. So just because it's media are so powerful that a bombardment of news and negative. I take pictures every single day of Italian news that I read every day, and I take pictures because I notice and I make a kind of collection. Every news about LGBT, godless concept, removing the veil, whatever is not according to Jews, Christians, and Muslims, not only Muslims, because this is a monotheistic, we are the monotheistic, religions. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, God Almighty in the Quran, speaks to the Jews and to the Christians and to mankind. Because the people of the book, Ahl al-Kitab, the people of the book, very important because we share the same God. And so the God of Ibrahim, peace and blessing upon him. So with that being said, why when every news about their agenda is always positive, always. When something's related about Islam, there is always a picture of a person with a knife in the hand, screaming with a very aggressive face. Notice that this is communication. This is ABC of media communication, and
yep.
you can find a lot of studies on that. And is always negative. So after 20 years on negative, it's normal that people when they ask the question. In US, that you can find this research. The terrorism in USA, you can see that if you say word terrorism, almost the majority of people or totality of people they think about Islam Muslims. But according to the FBI, the major threat, terrorist, homeland terrorist threat for US is from white extremists, KKK, this kind of movement. This is according not to my opinion, to the info of the FBI, but according to the media, it's the Muslim. So you see how reality can be changed. That's why Malcolm X, by the way, I went to visit this house in Boston, close to Boston. Malcolm X was a Muslim. Malik was his name as a Muslim. And he said, be careful of the media. They will make you see the victim as the aggressor, and the aggressor is the victim, because they're so powerful. And it is true, and this is my first-hand experience. And again, everything I say, everything you say, the person that listening to the podcast, this podcast, never take whatever we say for granted as truth. You make your search and you double check it, and whatever you hear is true. It makes sense. Go check. We live in the age of information. Sometimes over information is not informing, but there is no excuse for ignorance today, because really with the smartphone we have access to any encyclopedia, textbooks, podcast, PDF, whatever. Every information, even YouTube, like a Muslim preaching, explaining Islam, everything is there. If people don't know, because they decided not to know, and that's a choice.
Yeah, no, definitely. I agree. It's such a big topic, and it's many times, like in the past, I felt frustrated about it. But then when you understand the big picture, you understand like where we're going, like the way things work. You understand that okay, that's the way it's gonna go. Like we know as Muslims that Satan declared war on human beings. He wants us to go to hell with him. That's what he wants, and he knows that Islam is the answer to all the problems that are created. So he's going to do everything to make Islam look as bad as possible, so people don't become Muslim, don't become interested. And he's doing it in a way that is so obvious that for people who have understanding and have insight, you can understand that there's something there, definitely. And I think Islam will win at the end of the day. So we know this. It's such a big topic. It's sad, but Allah knows best, and he's the best of planner, as the Quran is saying. I want to just like go back like on the tangent again, because you mentioned that you did your Hajj, then you just like said it like yeah, I went to Hajj and stuff. But I want to understand because between the moment you got converted, or you started like your journey to Islam, and the moment you went to Hajj, how much time has passed in between?
2 years and a half. 2009, probably, if I remember well, 2009, 2 years and a half, kind of.
2 years and a half.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, you were pretty still young in your Islam. So I just want you to give me a little bit more details. But I haven't go to Hajj, so inshallah, may Allah give me the opportunity to do it. I mean, so you going there, it must be like a crazy thing, like you never seen anything, and you just come back, go to Saudi, and you land there, and you have to follow like, what's your feeling like, when you get there?
I learned a lot. Tell you something again. Something. Let me give you this little introduction, literally 10 seconds. Literally 10 seconds.
Sure.
Everything I say, I don't mean to be negative, but one thing that Islam taught me is that it is the truth, and we have to stick the truth, and we have to speak the truth. Yeah. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, God Almighty, wants us to be men enough to speak the truth. That because you only afraid of him and know his creatures. So what I want to say again is always with good intention, but I have to say the truth. First of all, Hajj is a fantastic experience. Really a unique, especially when you see the Kaaba. The people. Kaaba is the direction that we take. As when we pray wherever we are in the world, we face and we point at the Kaaba using a compass or whatever, and so which is the first house of God on the earth, made by the Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam, peace and blessing upon him. And so when I saw the first time entering the mosque, Masjid al-Haram, and then you melt like an ice cream, honestly, in the desert. You melt because this is where I point at every single day, and so it's really. Great I cannot describe it, the feelings, but also you will see, and this is very important, you see a reality of the Ummah, which is the Islamic community, or the country, Saudi Arabia, example. I noticed, and I wanted to go start in Medina and become a scholar. Then something happened there that I changed my mind. What was that? I saw how they were treating the Pakistani people. I remember I landed in Jeddah, and I remember the person was yelling, a Pakistani person that did something. Say, "I will tell to your master." And this is not a joke. I'm not exaggerating. Please take my word because of the word. Pakistani people like I don't know, my brother, again, I'm blonde, blue-eyed, but my brother is typical Mediterranean, dark hair, a little bit darker skin, typical Mediterranean person. Also Pakistani, are not light skin like a Swedish, okay? That person, he became white. I'm not joking. He changed the color of the face, scared to death. And what I noticed, that's not all of them. Of course, generalization is a wrong thing, but how they treat the Muslims there. Muslim with the blue eyes, like a prince. Muslim from Bangladesh, Pakistan, not like prince, like dogs. This is not Islamic. This is not Islamic at all. Islam came to change the situation. Prophet Muhammad, the peace and blessing upon him, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, said in his famous hadith, an Arab is no better than a non-Arab. A non-Arab is no better than an Arab. A white person is no better than a black person. A black person is no better than a white one. The best in the eye of God is the one who has more taqwa, more taqwa. How can I translate it? The fears Allah more.
Yeah.
And so this is it. And so where is Islam? Yeah, we have a mosques and whatever. Fine. Then I know there's also other things. Some people coming from different places. Now, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in another famous hadith, said that I was sent to improve, to perfectionate the manners, al-muamalat. So you have to be kind, you have to be gentle, you have to behave in a specific way, the way you deal with people, you eat, you travel, every single aspect is covered in our religion, everything. And so sometimes you see people there, they don't behave as they should as a Muslims. Yeah, they do salat, but they focus sometimes, and this is something very important. And not because I'm better than someone else. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive me. I'm the last one. Wallahi, I swear to God, I feel like the last one. I'm a sinner as everybody else, no better than anybody else. But people sometimes focus on, yes, the rules, the rules of religion, missing the spirituality of the rule, the target of the rule, the target of Islam. We have to improve as people. And so people pushing, people doing this, people throwing trash. And the person told me, people coming, from third countries world. Unfortunately, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help all these people. Probably they don't have the kind of manners that we have. They throw trash. At a certain point that we were going to do the jamarat, which jamarat is the part where you have to throw the stones, simulating in the 3 columns where shaitan, the devil, appeared to Prophet Ibrahim. Peace and blessing upon him, and you have to emulate this kind of stuff. So going toward there, you have to walk. I saw hills full of trash, but really everywhere, and also outside the tents of Mina, which is the place where you sleep, really 6-7 feet trash. And so people throwing like this, so disrespecting this the place. And a person was converted like me. Idris is a Muslim name. He's Italian too. He told me, Walid, don't be upset, because I say this is wrong. This is not right. They should be more respectful of this sacred place. This is the land of a Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Where are Muslims? We should do that. What did he say? Walid, don't get upset. What you see now is exactly representation of the status, of the spiritual status of the Ummah. That's why we Muslims, and again, I went to Hajj. I live in the UK. I live in now USA since many years. I lived also in Morocco for 1 year. And I traveled to these Muslim countries. And really the status of the Ummah, or the status of the Islamic community, it was pictured in that situation. Because why? Because we also treated Islam as it should be treated, and we kept Islam as it shouldn't be kept. And that's why, again, this is our fault. I say not there, I say our, because I'm Muslim, I take my part. And me, you, we all together have to strive to bring the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala upon the word of the man. Because the word of God is just. The word of man changes constantly. Law today is like this, like the Taliban. Remember, gallant people, freedom fighter today, worst despicable people tomorrow. One law you free today, next day you oppressed. The man is like this, like a flag in the wind. But the word of God, they always, and the people, they say this word is labeled as a extremist, even the fundamentalist. Fundamentalist, by the way, is a good word. Even today, just yesterday, a person trying to offend me and say, you're a fundamentalist. I say, thank you for this compliment. Because honestly, fundamentalist is a person, if you analyze the word, that goes back to the fundamental. So the fundamental of, I don't know, of a doctor is to go back to the good practice of medicine. Fundamental of Muslims is to go back to the Quran and Sunnah. So yes, I wish to be a better fundamentalist, which is, again, is a positive word. Extremist is another thing which is even doesn't belong to our religion, because the Prophet Muhammad, is a blessing upon him, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, said, avoid to be extreme. The person who count the hairs of the cow or the bull will perish. It means the person that count is too much will perish. And another hadith said Islam is thick like a wall, is a very broad religion, thick like a wall. Example, enter into it little by little, or the religion will break you. So extremism is against the religion. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam forbade us to eat too much. Don't be extreme in eating. Praying too much. Don't pray too much till you get tired. I don't do that. People that want to not get married, or even cut off. They say, oh, Prophet, I want to cut off my organ because I want to just dedicate it to God. They say, don't do that. And because I'm staying for the women when you fast, and then I go with my wife. I fast, and then I break my fast. I pray, and I rest. And even the Prophet Muhammad said there's a time to pray, time to work, time to spend time with them. There's time for everything. Everything must be done the proportion and balance. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, Ummatu wa antu khairul ummah. Ummati, you're the best community in the world because, yeah, you forbid the wrong and join the right to forbid the wrong, but also Ummatu wasatiyah, the community of balanced people, not too much, not too much. Again, when also in our religion, people start become too rigid, that's not a good sign. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was like this. We have to do what we have to do. We stick to it, and then we do what we have to do. We are people live here, and so you see, I found this religion that is again a solution for everything, and that's why, Cedric, you told me everyday Islam, everyday bad news on Islam is the last stronghold to save the mankind. And everybody says, yes, every religion says so. All right, open the book and make your search and prove if I'm wrong, or show me another solution, and I will accept it if it's right.
Yep. No, that's I agree. It's I'm grateful to see that we've covered like way more than an issue in Ukraine, which is good. You know what I mean? It's a lot of information for people to ponder on. I would like to, I think we're reaching the end of this podcast, and so I would like to understand like probably like where you are now, in your life. So what leads you to live in USA, and what's your life right now?
My life, again, I'm professional in the security, electronic and physical security, with this electronic security manufacturer as a sales engineer, and very happy. I have to say that United States is a great country, great people. I really love the heart of these people.
So what led you there? Well, how come you came to USA?
Because of my wife. Okay. Again, if I remember well, you interviewed my wife, correct, Lindsay?
I don't think it was me. Probably, yeah, it's probably someone else. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I want to say she also has for females, of course. But again, if someone has to send me a message, I can send me a message. Maybe you can share my email if someone has to write me, or can go
we'll do. I will do this at the end of when we finish.
And for the sister Fatima, umfatima.com. So she has something for women, but again, so basically my wife, I met her through a common friend, because again, I was just knowing a Moroccan girl, because again, I was not married, so I wasn't looking to get married, but this girl, in the process, she just died. She was 21 years old. She's died for an injection and a hospital bag reaction. She died. And so the sister, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have mercy of her soul. I mean, but we didn't say that the sister was left. By the way, she was living in France, married with a French person. Of course, was a fake revert to Islam for him. Was just done. The kind of people say, I became Muslim just to get married. Because people know we can marry Christians and Jews, but women cannot marry accepted Muslim. Again, it's not a racist or xenophobic thing, but it's just because typically the man, the leader of the house, has a strong influence on the house, so he might take the religion another direction. That's why. That's the simple reason. So basically, after the sister died, she decided to put on hijab. She didn't have the job, so basically they fired her on work. She was a manager selling frames for glasses, and the husband saying, "No, I'll divorce you if you. I don't want this." So she lost job and everything, and she went to America, and she met my wife in New Mexico. My wife just did the shahada a few months before she was studying, just jumping into it. So say, hold on, my wife is she's American, but she has a master degree in Italian languages. She speaks Italian perfectly, really. And I say, wait, what's I got an Italian? I have an Italian, is Muslim, and you speak Italian and you are Muslima. Okay, you need to know this guy. I was in touch with my sister, blah, blah, so forth. Yeah, at the beginning I started, she sent me an email, why don't you speak with Lindsay? And I say, I don't believe this kind of stuff. I'm here, she's there. I don't believe in this long distance stuff. So after 4 months we got married. basically. She jumped on an airplane and say, oh, we start talking a little bit. Back then, I wanted to move to. I left Morocco because, again, another experience there where you understand that Moroccan people, great people, you find very good Muslim there, but the society is completely gone another direction. So, calling a Muslim country, I have some doubt about it. Again, alcohol under the sky, prostitutions, or something really. If you have a beard, had the police stopped me because I drove through Spain to bring my car. I was doing business there and to bring my car and to the district of Gibraltar. And the police saw the beard and say, why this beard? And on the boat with any possible weird people there, tattoo people, they were looking so tattooed, they looked like the desk I had in my school, the elementary school, full of stuff on tip. So you stopped me, and they found 2 books: How to Get Married in Islam, because I wanted to get married. I was studying the best way to get married, and Riyad al-Salihin, which is the Imam Nawawi, which is a collection of hadith, which are hadith are the saying of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So, oh my God, they stopped me for an hour and a half, like I was, I don't know, the head of the mafia. And after an hour and a half, I say, guys, listen, if a book on how to get married and a beard scares you, I'm telling you, there is so much crime out there that you took the wrong guys. If you want, I go back to Europe where I'm free and police is stopping for 1 minute. They say, thank you, document, thank you very much, goodbye. But you don't do this because honestly, bunch of weird people coming from anywhere in the world to visit Morocco, and that's okay. And then the Muslim is wrong. So I notice also they are very scared about, if you have a beard, people leaving me because it was a sign of extremism.
Yeah.
And friends of mine with the hijab in Morocco, no, they had to remove hijab. I even go to the beach, same thing as France, because Morocco was a colony. Still, colonization is still in the brain of the people, that they speak French. They say salam alaikum, they reply bonsoir, ça va, these kind of things. But not only that, on the beach in Casablanca, I was living in Casablanca, friend of mine with hijab say, no, with hijab you cannot come on the beach in a Muslim country. And I saw a beer place was close to the Masjid, huge window, people drinking with alcohol and stuff like that. Again, generalizing is always wrong. I found very good Muslim there. If you want to practice Islam, you can do it there, but it's always under control. You can say this, you can say that. Everything has to be framed. If you have a beard, you're a little bit weird. If you go to pray Fajr all the time, they told me, too much. So I said, this is the condition of the Muslims today. So I left. But when I came back here, and US, something was saying when Trump was elected, that Trump was not properly friendly with the Muslim and Islam. Islam. What do you think about Islam? I think Islam is on YouTube. Islam hates us. Like Islam is a living being that has feeling. Like today Islam is angry. Let's have I don't know, nugget donuts and a coffee. It's a thing nonsense. Okay.
Yeah.
So those are the leaders too. But again, he was elected. We respect that. But and I was in the mosque, and the head of police came and say, the head of police of the city came and say one thing. First of all, I know that someone may be afraid, because Trump won, and a lot of people in USA now might think they can say, do, or even say whatever they want about you. So I want to highlight something as the head of police. It was in Boston, by the way, in Boston. We opened an office for you and a special number for you. That was the Jumu'ah, the Friday. Our sacred day is a Jumu'ah, the Friday. And so he came to the Salah, to the sermon, during the sermon, and said, this is the number for you, office for you, and personal for you. If anyone says something at work, in the street, you threaten, you whatever, call us, we'll take care of it. You know why? It doesn't matter who is the president. We don't care. We care. This is America. And everybody here is free to be as they want. And so you Muslims are welcome here. And so this was really something that shows how America is a great place, good people. Yes, I can criticize the foreign policy. Yes, as I criticized Saudi Arabia, as I told you, Morocco, as I told you, Italy, as I told you. Why? Because again, it's not Italian, American, it's a human being. Corruption, as you say, Satan, Shaitan, the devil has been there since forever with humankind. So for the Persian Empire, Roman Empire, Greek Empire, the colonial empire, the British Empire, whoever, Satan is there, Shaitan is there. People make mistakes. Corruption is there, but we understand this, the people are good, and we talk and take a discussion or whatever on single basis, and we don't generalize. Even sometimes we have an idea. And so I have to say that America is a great place, definitely different from Europe also, because Europe a little bit here is a little bit more, I don't know, America, everything is bigger. Police is very, like, I don't know, it's a kind of, you can see the history of, Wild West. Looks like a joke, but it's true. Europe is more moderate on everything. Police is more moderate. Here everything is a little bit on a extreme side, because it is the history, people came here for the venture, the Wild West, and still sometimes the mentality is still there, the melting point of many cultures and people is sometimes tough to understand. But again, they try their best to create a good society. Even sometimes, of course, if it's not based on God rules, it won't be successful as they should. But American people, good people, and there's good and bad as everywhere, I have to say. God knows then in the future where I will be. At the moment, again, then my wife came to Italy 3 years. She got pregnant. And because when she came to Italy to meet me, because I was in London when we started chatting, so I want to move to UK. And then she said, come on, can we do this? And I was a little bit, I don't know, say, let's come. I just started a new job. I cannot come to US to meet you because, again, I cannot. I don't have a day of vacation. I have to just start it. So she jumped on an airplane. She came to Italy. I said, yes, but not just me and you. You have to stay. I have my mother. You stay with my mother. We're all together. And so, not just me and you. At least a minimum halal within the rules.
Yeah.
And so she flew back after 5 days just to, I said, let me introduce my family, at least my brother, my mother. You see how we live. You see who I am, and I'm not fake. And then we go from there. Then after 2 months, I flew to US and I married her in the same mosque in Boston. And I say, okay, now you can come in my house. Now we can live together. And then we went to Italy. 3 years. She got pregnant. And when she got pregnant, I say, oh, I miss my mom. I need my mom. So I dropped everything. I started my adventure seven something years ago here from the scratch. And now we have 2 beautiful babies. And I learned how is to live in America. I met a lot of different people. I learned a different culture. And I have to say a lot of prejudice and on Americans too, because a lot of people always say everything is always because of America. Even if it's raining, the engine of your car doesn't start because America plot. That's an exaggeration too. But again, I learned a lot, and America as a country, as a people, they really gave me a lot. So as I say, Islam taught us to be just, and I have to say, is yes, I disagree with the action of a few people but again, it's something away from us. We have no power on that. Everybody is responsible for their own action, not the American people. But American people is, I have to say, hard worker, very, very nice people. When you need help, they always help. Really, I think American people just need one thing. La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah, because I tell you, they behave sometimes even better than Muslims. They say, oh, we are Muslim, but they behave in a completely different way of what the Muslims should behave. And so they have the Shahada, but they don't have the rest. The Americans, sometimes they have a great behavior, very well mannered, really generous, very good people. They just need the Shahada. They will be the best Muslim. Really, they will be the best Muslims. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide them all.
Amen. That's all we can wish. Yeah, we are. I think we're now like reaching the end of the podcast, and I really hope and I wish that this conversation, this talk that we had, has been like informative and meaningful for anybody listening out there, interested to revert to Islam, because that's really what all we could wish for. That's the point of doing this whole thing. So I wanted to know, like, do you have like any last word that you would like to say? Like, I don't know, let's say like anybody is listening and they're thinking about converting to Islam, but they're not too sure. Like, what could you advise them, or even somebody that actually just started Islam, really a young revert? What would be your best advice in this case?
First of all, I want to say something. Do not procrastinate the good. My advice is the advice that the doctor, Dr. Ashraf, told me once I became a Muslim in Verona, Italy. He told me while I was having hard time in changing, and I was saying, oh, so God, everything is so different and tough. And he told me, Walid, remember these words. And this is African wisdom, is from Sudan. He said, remember, do not be afraid of the change, because static things in nature are death. The water that doesn't flow like a fresh water in a stream or a river became stagnant like a pond. So smells bad is death. Life cannot grow into it. The arrow cannot leave the arch, has to leave the arch to hit the target. A lion has to leave the comfort of his own place where he sleeps to find the prey and survive and live. So moving things are the good things. Static things are not part of the nature. And so be in a discomfort zone, be out of our comfort zone is good things. That's also what America told me, is when you all coming here, all go in Morocco, all go everywhere, when I met different people and I embraced the good because I believe into it. Do not be afraid of change. Be brave enough to follow what you believe is right, and increase your knowledge, because knowledge is powerful. And stick with the good people and ask questions to the right people. If you have a health problem, you don't go to the barber shop, you go to the doctor. If you have a question for a Jew, you go for Judaism, you go to the Jews. If you want to know about Islam, ask a Muslim, a good Muslim, an imam, and ask the question. Go to the source. The water at the source is always the purest. Don't go down the river, go at the source. Trust yourself, follow what you feel is right, increase your knowledge, contact the right people, embrace the change. Do not procrastinate the good. The good will come. This is my advice.
Wow, that was
ask God.
Yes, that was powerful, man. It's a beautiful and great advice. So I really thank you for this. So for the listener out there, if you are interested to find more information about the podcast or about Islam in itself, I would definitely invite you to go on our website, which is untoislam.com, untoislam.com, untoislam.com. Don't hesitate to leave us a review. Let us know what you like, what you didn't like. Get in touch with us if you want information, if you're trying if you want to be Muslim and you need guidance, we're here for you. You can also share your feedback. It's always appreciated and definitely welcome. On this note, I think we can conclude the episode for today. Walid, I have to say that it was a pleasure to have you. And I hope that we can maybe have you again another time with a different topic. So would it be okay for us to share your details on the notes section of this podcast in case anyone would like to get in touch with you or follow what you do? You can give us now on the air, but you can also give us by email, with ID, and we'll add it to the note of this podcast.
Absolutely. I can spell it is Max Affieri, MAX, F as in France, IERI USA, Max Fieri USA @gmail.com. And Cedric, if you have the link of your podcast, you have my email. So if you can send it through my email, I would love to follow and support you as much as I can. And
definitely, as soon as it's recorded and thing, we will send you the recording definitely with the link. So yeah, don't worry about this.
Jazakallah khair al jaza. Or I should say, merci beaucoup, mon ami, mon frère.
Merci beaucoup. Yeah, it's clear. So for all the listeners out there, and especially for you, Walid, may the peace of Allah be with you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I wish you a very blessed day, and of course, may Allah guide us all. Ameen. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.